What's up, guys? My name is Gabe, and welcome back to the Trojan Blade. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is the instant reaction to USC's 45-31 win over the Michigan State Spartans. First off, if there are any Michigan State fans watching, that was a damn good game. Your guys have a ton of heart, and not going to go any further without saying absolutely praying for Wayne Matthews and his family tonight. That was a very scary situation at the end of the first half there. Really hope he's going to be okay. But yeah, we are 4-0 to start the season. Officially 2-0 now in conference play. And just like last week with Purdue, there is a lot to be excited about, a lot to be happy with, but there was also a lot left to be desired. We also have some injury news, so a lot to get into. Please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now let's talk about this game. So the final score isn't the part that surprises me. I said it was going to be 41-32 in my score prediction. And as usual, a lot of you yelled at me once again. A lot of you told me I was an idiot and I didn't know what I was talking about. But this is more or less the game that I expected. And while the end result matches what my preconceived notion was going into the game, the way the actual game played out, I'm a lot less happy with this result than I would have been heading into it. Like, this was a 7-point game to start the fourth quarter. Just like last year, everything flipped in the third quarter of this game. We were up 21 points and we're going to get the ball back. Michigan State was punting, and Tamir Robinson was near the punter. Now, he did get pushed into him, but he put himself in a position to be pushed into the punter. He was right around him, and everything flipped from there. Now, we did get it back on the rails, but we were so much better than Michigan State. We were so much more talented, so much deeper. When you factor in the crazy amount of injuries they had, they lost both their green dots in this game. They lost their left tackle in this game. They were playing super late. Like, as I'm recording this, it's 11:59 on the West Coast. So Michigan State had every single disadvantage you could have, and they were right in this game. Now look, it's conference play. It's the Big Ten. Stuff like this is going to happen. I respect Jonathan Smith. I respect Michigan State. But when the talent advantage is that big, and the only reason they're really back in the game is because you decided to melt down with penalties, to extend drives, like, that's problematic. But let's talk about the positives here for a minute. So, Jaden Maiava. I don't take back anything I said during the offseason. I think every single one of my concerns was 100% valid. The only thing I'll admit I was wrong about is that I didn't think he could become this version of himself. Which, yeah, at this point in the season, I do feel comfortable saying I was wrong about that. We are 4 games in, and I pray to God that this is not a jinx. Knock on wood, I am knocking on my desk right now. But Jaden Maiava has not turned the ball over yet. We're 4 games in, guys. Imagine telling yourself that last year, coming off that Texas A&M game. Jaden Maiava would start the first 4 games against 2 Big Ten opponents and have 0 turnovers. Now, in terms of turnover luck, we are near the top of the country. I think he's had 4 or 5 picks drop so far this year. So luck does play a part in it. But even taking all of that out, I don't care if you were the biggest Jaden Maiava believer, just because you're a USC fan and that's what you do. If someone made a silhouette tape of Jaden's game from tonight and showed you some of his plays, and they asked you, who is this quarterback? You would not be able to say that it was Jaden Maiava. He has changed everything about his demeanor, his game, his process. He had that one crazy scramble to pick up that massive first down, and that was a great play, but that's not the foundation of his game anymore. What he is in this Lincoln Riley offense is an extremely physically gifted point guard. He's what Dylan Gabriel was for Oregon last year, except he comes in a 6'4" frame with a slightly stronger arm. Dylan actually has a pretty strong arm, but Jaden's is a little bit stronger. Jaden was absolutely fantastic in this game. He finished today 20 of 26 for 234 and 3 touchdowns. And again, no turnovers. He's playing within the offense exactly the way Lincoln Riley wants. The offensive line is playing in sync. Like, why do you think Lincoln Riley is appearing to be so brilliant? Which, yeah, by the way, he called a masterclass of a game. A virtuoso on the football field calling in plays today. He was wonderful to watch. But Lincoln's offense is not just one guy. As amazing as Caleb was, it was the Caleb Williams show. That's not when Lincoln Riley's at his best. Lincoln Riley's at his best when all 11 cogs in the machine are spinning simultaneously. They're spinning in sync, and it makes the whole machine operate very smoothly. And that's what we saw tonight. The tight ends are in sync. The wideouts are in sync. Jaden is obviously conducting the entire thing masterfully. Jaden never gets too high. He never gets too low now. Now, one thing we haven't seen is this offense be punched in the mouth. No one has really slowed us down yet. So when that happens, how is the offense going to respond? That's going to be the next question. But yeah, Jaden was phenomenal tonight. Now, taking a look at the backs, man, we have two good ones. Wayman Jordan and Eli Sanders. Wayman went 18 carries for 157, and Eli went 13 for 84. Most programs would kill to have either one of these guys, and we have both of them. The vision, the decisiveness. Wayman Jordan gets better and better as the game goes on. He's pretty good in the first quarter. He's okay in the first half, but in that third quarter, in that fourth quarter, he is a different guy. He's still putting it into high gear. He looks faster than everybody. When the Michigan State defense was starting to get gassed, Wayman started to take advantage and hit some big runs in that second half. Now, receiving-wise, this was the Makai Lemon show. If you were hoping to see someone emerge from that other group because Jacoby Lane didn't play, that didn't happen. This wide receiver room is Jacoby Lane, Makai Lemon, Jaden Richardson, and Tanuk Hines are really good blockers, and that's it. That's the full pecking order. As we get into these bigger games, we really need Jacoby back because having Makai as the only true threat out wide, that's going to make it very easy to game plan against us when we're playing these tougher opponents. But tonight, it obviously wasn't an issue. Makai Lemon, 8 receptions, 127 yards, 1 touchdown. Walker Lyons also caught a touchdown, and Tanuk Hines also had a touchdown at the end of the first half. DJ Jordan caught a pass, and he immediately fumbled. I could be wrong. I don't recall seeing him again. You know how Lincoln can be with that sometimes, so keep an eye on that. And we also had a very big injury on the offensive line. Elijah Page exited the game pretty early in this one. There was a complete offensive line reshuffle. Justin Tuanuu moved from right tackle to left tackle. Micah Banuelos came in at left guard, while Tobias Raymond went from left guard to right tackle. Now, leading up to this game and the first part of this game, Elijah Page and Tobias Raymond are actually one of the most elite left side duos in the entire country. PFF says that. The eyeball test says that. They're playing at an elite level. So when Elijah Page exited the game, there was a downtick in production from the offensive line, as to be expected. Anytime you lose a talent like that, that's just going to happen. But I did like the way the O-line held up in his absence. I thought Micah Banuelos played really well. Killian O'Connor had a few iffy moments, but played pretty well overall. Tobias Raymond is definitely a better guard than tackle at this point in his career, but he held his own out there. So hopefully it's not a long-term injury for Elijah Page. Now, I'm sure the pressers are going on right now, so I haven't seen anything. If there is any news about Elijah, make sure to let me know in the comment section. But yeah, overall, a good day for the offensive line. Okay, let's talk about the defense. So where to start? I think I'll start with the positives. First things first, Cameron Fountain is no more. Cameron Crawford is the player we have now. He did change his name. It's going to take some getting used to. But Mr. Crawford had a very, very good game for us today. 3 total tackles, 1 TFL, very explosive off the line, and was very good in pursuit of Aiden Childs. Which, by the way, Aiden Childs on the day, 12 of 21, 212 yards, 3 touchdowns. Also had 31 yards and 1 touchdown on the ground. He did a lot with a little. Thought he played very well. Now, we will get into why he had 212 yards on just 12 completions here in a minute when we talk about the secondary. But getting back to the Trojan defensive line, this was the official coming out party for true freshman defensive lineman Jahkeem Stewart. So, I'm a Cleveland Browns fan, as many of you know. While it is a very depressing lifestyle, I wouldn't recommend it. Not for the faint of heart. But one thing I do get to watch every Sunday is Myles Garrett. Now, no, anyone in the comment section, I'm not saying he's Myles Garrett. I'm not putting too much pressure on him. Whatever comment you're going to leave, don't waste your typing. He is a true freshman. I'm not calling him anything. What I am saying is that he does things physically that I see Myles Garrett do every single Sunday. The get off is different than anyone we have on the team. And Cam Crawford is a really good athlete, and Jahkeem Stewart makes him look normal. Guys, this kid has the potential to go all the way. I'm talking number 1 overall pick in the draft, top 5 overall in the draft. He has the potential to be whatever he wants to be. I mean, he's a special, special talent. The sky is the absolute limit for him, and it's not going to be long before he's a household name. Because with his recruiting status, a lot of people already know him, but he's a special kind of player, one that doesn't come around very often, and one that we haven't had on the defensive line since a guy like Leonard Williams. Now, one thing I noticed this offseason, a lot of attention was paid to the additions of Keyshawn Silver and Jamal Jarrett. You know, they're coming over from the SEC. They're very highly paid. They're big bodies. And I'll be completely honest, both of them up to this point, their play has been below average. It just has. Their play has not matched the hype. But look at the guys that have been stepping up on this defensive line. They're all guys that have been with us for multiple years. It's your Anthony Lucases. It's all our guys that are getting developed by Coach Nua, by Coach Henne, the guys that have been in the program for a while. You saw Devin Tompkins have a massive game. This was a project guy when he signed at USC. The development on the front 7 is there. Coach Henne is doing his thing. Coach Nua is doing his thing as well. The homegrown pieces are the one wrecking shop. While at this point, Keyshawn Silver and Jamal Jarrett are nice depth pieces, and that's all they are. So this whole narrative that we have to go into the SEC to get these nose tackles, I don't think it's true. I just don't. Moving back to the linebackers, we saw more of the same. Eric Gentry, an absolute wrecking ball. 6 tackles, 2 TFLs, a complete stud, and his leadership was on full display in this one. Corey Sims had a really bad unsportsmanlike penalty on a kickoff. Who was right there in his face getting him in line? Eric Gentry. When the defense was starting to melt down and commit a bunch of stupid penalties, who was the one losing his shit coming off the field? Eric Gentry. Eric Gentry is the heartbeat of this team, the soul of this team, the best player on this team, and the most important player on this team. I'm going to enjoy every single snap I get to watch him play because, guys, we're never going to see another Eric Gentry again. Probably not in college football, but most definitely not at USC. He's a unicorn. His personality is completely his own. And there are very few players that I've enjoyed watching more at USC than number 18. Desmond Stevens was definitely more active in this game, still had a few of the same sort of similar issues. He had some missed tackles, was hesitant to fill a couple of times, but is always very solid in pass coverage. And again, he was a little more decisive and he was around the ball more in this game, which is a good sign. The safeties were both pretty good. Bishop Fitzgerald and Christian Pierce. Nothing too eye-catching, nothing problematic. I don't know if you can tell by the tone of my voice, but I really don't want to talk about the Trojan cornerback room. It's just depressing. I'm not in the business of bullshitting you guys, so I'll just come out and say it. Our corner room is bad. It's very, very bad. They're grabby. They're undisciplined. They get torched in man coverage. DJ Harvey got absolutely smoked at the end of the game. Marcellus had a bad game. Conley had some good reps, but also some bad ones. And DeCarlos Nicholson is nowhere near good enough to be a number 1 corner. That's just the reality of the situation. So what can we do about it? Because this isn't the NFL. We can't be trading for players mid-season. There's no free agent wire. We have who we have, and we have to make the most of it. So as unfair as this is, the pass rush has to be even more dominant. They have to get to the quarterback quicker. Like, we just have to do things to shield these corners from being in isolated situations like we saw at the end of the game there with DJ Harvey. I put this on Twitter, but as excited, as thrilled as I am about our pass rushers, I'm equally as concerned about our corners. Like, it's a dire situation. And just speaking overall, the defense is so undisciplined. I don't understand why. Hands to the face, roughing the passer, pass interference. Were there a few iffy calls from the refs in this game? Yeah. But overall, most of those were good calls. We are way too handsy as a defensive backfield. Why are we still committing hands to the face after a month into this season? I mean, it's unacceptable. It really is. Like, there's some major concerns with this defense. Giving up 31 points, like after seeing Michigan State play, right? Knowing the success our front seven was having against them. The fact that they scored 31 is a big red flag. Like, this Michigan State team is not very good. They didn't even play very well on the day. Like, they could have played a much better game. So overall, that's very concerning. I'm not concerned with the offense anymore. Like, we'll certainly face tougher competition. The Michigan State secondary is not good. Both their linebackers got knocked out. But still, I'm not going to worry about this offense until they give me a reason to. But defensively, I mean, yikes. Secondary especially. Like, I'm not worried about our pass rushers. Again, I'm very pleased with them. We did do a better job of limiting first downs for Michigan State in this game. They only had 19. We've been allowing like 25 plus, I feel like, the last few weeks. So that's definitely a step in the right direction. But yeah, I'll be honest, my brain's kind of fried. It's currently 12:20 in the morning on Sunday here on the West Coast. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to edit this video and I'm going to publish it and I am going to go to sleep. So happy to be 4-0, a lot to clean up. Jaden Mayava, much better than I thought he could be. Shout out to him. Shout out to Lincoln Riley. And overall, very pleased with the win.